Welcome back to Glow Up or Get Out. I'm half the podcast, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Welcome back today, guys. Today we're talking about friendship. So yeah, if you want to hear our take on male friendship and female friendships and how we perceive them, and then obviously we have female friendships, so kind of just how we see there's like some differences. And
I feel like we all think it's like immensely like obvious that like they're completely different, but I'm assuming with conversation that we might find that there's a lot of similarities when we really think about it. I'm hoping. I don't know.
We do, and we also just really don't know. This is all perception because we don't have any male friends who also have male friends. So like to base it off their experience.
And to clarify, we're talking about like heterosexual cisgendered men.
Yeah.
Being friends with other men.
Mm-hmm. And then in Glowing Hour, we're going to discuss if we think we could be friends and if females in general could be friends with a hetero-cis man. Or men, multiple men, who knows? A group of them. I mean, I've seen New Girl. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
Moving on. I guess just to get right into it, we're honestly just going to rant and go off about the topic.
Yeah.
So, our perception from the outside looking in at male friendship. What experience do you have? Because I got to say most of mine's like high school. Like, growing up.
Yeah, listen, I feel like I had a lot of guy friends growing up.
Same.
And I gotta say that I think, like, 2 out of, like, all of the experiences were, I think, fairly normal, like,
Friendship.
woman or girl and boy, like, friendship. So, like, my perception of, like, male on male, or, like, men and men, I guess it's, like, because we're really talking about, like, cisgendered heterosexual men, so I'm going to say male a lot. But, like, I think that those types of men on men, like, friendships, I don't know. It's either, like, they're really fucking bro-y or, like...
Like frat bro-y?
Like frat bro-y.
Okay.
I feel like that's my perception of, like, their friendship. It, like, is giving, like, I'm not gay, but, like it's, like, the... no homo, like, shit, you know what I mean? Like, saying that
they
kind of
do
dumb
always
shit.
say no homo,
But then again, like, y'all are acting a little too, frisky with each other and shit, so I don't know. I mean,
But,
it's
like,
fine. I'm like, it's fine if there's a little homo, you know what I mean? It's all good.
he said leave the homo in.
Just leave it in. Just
leave it
say
in.
you
It's
like it a little
fine.
bit. It's okay. So it's either that they're really bro-y, or it's like, and like by bro-y, I mean like that. Like they're very touchy, very like, you're my guy type of thing. Oh my god, my voice just like did the...
Your chest can't handle it.
like the, you're my bro, like chest bumps or whatever the fuck. Or like they're sitting next to each other, not saying anything besides like talking about sports. Like that's how I perceive like men friendship.
Like surface level friendship.
Yeah, like very
looks.
very on the surface, or talking about work, or talking about like their workouts, like shit that's like more mundane and everyday versus like talking about how they actually feel. Like I don't think that they actually do.
To be fair, I don't think they like, even if they did, let's say they do in specific friendships, I doubt they would around us, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
You know? Because I'm thinking, like, a lot of the times I've seen interactions between male friends, high school, and, like, obviously that's, like, it's a whole other world. But from there, like, boyfriends, friends. So, like, it is very surface level. There's, like, been a few instances, like, if I was, like, with my boyfriend's friend, and it was, like, one-on-one, and then me, you know, like, 3 people there, they would talk about, like, a little bit deeper, or just, like... normal things, like not just like sports and whatever else shit, like they would actually talk. I feel like it's like in a group setting, guys have different relationships with different friends, which is fair. I feel like we all do that. So like in a group setting, you're not gonna divulge all these deep secrets or like heartaches you're going through. But yeah, I agree, like there is like a broy side of things, and they just like, when they say no homo, it's very much like, just embrace it. Like, why do you have to preface it with that? Like, y'all love each other, that's fine.
Yeah.
Which, like, goes into a lot of the whole patriarchy and like all of the societal pressures, but like just love each other. It's fine.
Just give each other a hug, even maybe a smooch. It's fine.
A smooch.
Like, I know you want to kiss. It's okay.
I see.
I kiss my friends too. Like, it's fine. This like concept has brought up a video I actually saw where there is this TikTok. Maybe you saw it. I don't know who like stitched it, but it was this man who was like, he just put out like this statement where he was like, hey guys, like I am so like, he's like, I think he was talking about getting a divorce or something. He's like, I'm getting a divorce. I'm so tired of like living with women. He's like, I'm all for like, let's just get married. Like me and another dude, let's get married. Let's do a partnership. Like, again, like no homo probably.
Yeah.
But like, I think like I'm here for I want to have like a double high income household, and I want us to have a good ass house. Like he was like saying shit like we can get maids who like will clean our house, maybe even like topless. Like wouldn't that be fun? And it was just like this whole concept. Like I forgot who stitched it, but basically saying like, yeah, I'll say it again. Men hate women. Like men don't want to actually be with women. They want to be with men, and they just see women as like, this is kind of a separate topic, but like they see women as objects of like being a mother who can birth a child, or a cleaning lady, a housekeeper, or you know, just like tasks that are very gender role specific
that they don't want to do.
And like,
interesting.
It was just like, that's also how I see like male friendship. Like they don't fucking care about really like having a friendship or like a relationship with women sometimes. I'm like, it's just so interesting. I don't know.
It's interesting because like, okay, let's like put this in perspective from like men in relationships versus, well, not versus, but just men in relationships, and then like how they interact with their friends about these relationships. You know what I mean? They're not vulnerable. They're very much like we're talking about not all men, you know what I mean? Like
not all men.
Not all men, but like they're very like, oh yeah, bro, like did this with this girl last week, and the bros are like sick.
Yeah, dude.
And instead it like if Mel was to be like, I hooked up with somebody last week, I'd be like, you have a girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
What
are you doing?
What are you not connecting up here, babe?
Yeah.
Like, why are you being an awful person? Obviously, I wouldn't say all that. I'm just like, if it was a mistake, you know what I mean? But yeah, guys just like don't want to like conflict. No conflict in their friendships, which I guess some could say female friendships have more conflict than men would like, and that's why they don't bring up shit, because they're just like, it's stupid, like I'm gonna get over it, why bring it up? Because I remember like exes would be like, I'm annoyed that my friend did this, and I'm like that is kind of annoying. Why wouldn't you say, like, all you have to say is like, hey, don't be late next time, or like whatever. Like if you're really frustrated about it, or if it's like a fucking character flaw, stop being friends with them. Like there's so many things you could do, and they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't understand, and
you know,
maybe I'm just like annoying, and maybe like not so easygoing, but like how do you let shit go all the fucking time?
Well, I think it's that they have a need for quantity over quality a lot of the time.
Agreed.
A lot of men just stick with their like friends from high school, their friends from college, and they never fucking let go, which is fine. We like, women also do that. Like you've gone through a lot of shit with these people, and like it's cool to a degree, but when it's like a group of like 20 of y'all, it's like, y'all really homies like that?
Like every single one of you can call each other like a friend, like real friends.
I mean, good for them.
I think
this is how we're perceiving it on the outside, you know?
I mean, maybe y'all are, like really...
Maybe y'all really are tight like that,
but
from what I've seen...
I don't know.
There's drama in y'all's group and you don't even know it.
But nobody talks about it.
Except to the girlfriends. All the girlfriends know.
All the girlfriends know. And are looking at each other like...
So your man's is annoying.
I don't know why you're with them. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of like unsaid like drama between men, but because they don't want to be dramatic, they don't talk about it. But I'm like, you're only creating like this weird ass resentment that like you're hanging out with somebody you don't even fucking like. You know what I mean?
That's my thing. I'm like, is there no like, is it just like, you can do something for me later, so I'm gonna keep you around? Is that what a lot of them do?
I don't know.
Because that's what I feel like there's one experience that I have where his friend was not even a friend. He's just someone to do stuff for him every once in a while, which is like terrible person for that. But like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, if you don't genuinely like the conversations you have or like the time you spend with people, why?
On the other hand, I highly like
You said highly
I highly
suggest
respect the fact that like they all have each other's backs, like no
At the end
matter
of the
fucking
day,
what.
They do.
It's so weird to me.
They do.
Like, and I don't want to get into my shit already, but like, for example, like something happened between a friend group and me. Of dudes. This sounds weird. This sounds like a really like
No.
this start like the start of a porno. Not like that way, but like I guess I kind of like tried to date or see like which one.
You say, which one do I like the most?
And they all saw me as a bad person when like y'all didn't have like
Y'all were the homies.
y'all didn't have code with each other. That's not my problem.
So sorry y'all liked me. I'm supposed to be ugly
But
now?
they all had each other's backs, and they called me, and they didn't call me any names, but they kind of saw me as like the bad person. And I'm just like, what?
You're like, so which one of you like me though?
If I chose one of you right now, you still would probably shut up. Just kidding.
Shut up.
But like that's what they all have each other's backs, like literally no matter what.
They
even
do.
if they don't actually like each other, like they have respect for each
Like,
other.
if they were to
in
go
a
out
crazy
together,
way.
And someone starts some shit, and my homie's getting it if I gotta go.
You barely even know him.
You say you're a homie, you met him tonight. That's my boyfriend's friend.
But then I think about us and like we're going
That's
to
true,
like
yeah.
women, but like women who are like in the bathroom, like the bathroom fucking situation. Like if you meet a girl in
All
the
of a sudden
bathroom,
we're
we're
besties
besties, and like you see her later and she's fighting with her boyfriend, you're like all drunk, you go
You
to
say,
her, you don't talk to her like that. You don't talk to her like that.
Yeah. And you're right. There are a lot of similarities that you just kind of like. They're just different because they're nuanced.
Yes.
Like a girl comes in like this. A guy is coming in guns a-blazing.
Yes.
Which, like, you know, same could be said for either. But, like, wow. I think, okay, similarity. But I think difference, I don't know how accurate this is, but men like to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Men, why? They fight each other physically for fun.
Yeah, like what is this wrestling? Again, no homo but homo.
Like, why y'all want to touch each other like that?
I mean, cute, I
Are
guess.
you asserting power?
I'm just gonna go, oh, so cute.
Like,
They're hugging.
I'm like, I know they don't do it for the women.
It's like, it's
I
almost
think.
like they want to be physical with each other. But like the normal ways of being physical, like to show intimacy, aren't like allowed.
They
It doesn't
be
show
like, you're
strength.
my bro.
It doesn't show strength. It doesn't
Oh.
show like I'm a
Oh,
man type of thing.
sad.
It's really sad. It really is. Just hug each other. You know what I mean? Give each other an
I mean,
embrace.
like, I get it. Fighting's fun. Like,
Go like
laser
this to
tag
your,
or whatever.
your bestie. It's okay, bud.
Your hair looks sexy, push back.
Yeah, literally.
Tell 'em that. I was also thinking, like, you know, back in the day, the prehistoric days, that's how they asserted who was the alpha.
Yeah.
And, like, dominance.
I mean, the animal kingdom still does that, so.
Right. Or animals.
Yeah.
To a degree. So maybe they are,
But is
in
that-
their weird friendship way, being like, all right, who the fuck is the alpha in this group? But, like, for shits and giggles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, they're like, nah, I was the alpha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all of them are the alpha, though.
They just want to know and assert that power.
Dominance, yeah. That's
So
like their whole
silly.
thing, asserting dominance and power. I feel like women don't really have that desire. We just
I
like
mean, there's in the opposite way, it's like popularity, I think, for women.
for women popularity,
being
yeah.
liked.
Power in that
Power
way.
in that way.
Like I have the most friends.
Not even the most friends, but I can like
People come to me the
I can,
most or
yeah, I
something.
can command attention. I think.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, I can see that. On the flip side of men wanting power in fighting, right? I feel like women also like the power in emotions. Mm-hmm. Like, there is this, like, this is where all the drama comes in.
I'm
with
like,
women.
yeah, girls are manipulative
Because,
as fuck.
you know what I mean? Like, the emotions come in, and then it's like, well, I know she's going through that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like, there's girls who'll be
no.
catty and
Yeah.
shit, or like, I don't even know, like, oh, did you, like, we're gossipers, bruh. Like, we tell each other everything, and we're there for each other, and then we'll be like, dude, you won't believe it. Like, we just
Okay.
love it.
I like loved, I don't know who said this, again, probably another TikTok.
Yeah.
But like somebody said like that women, like gossiping is seen as like a bad thing, but it just came from like storytelling about like what's happening in the town
So
and
I'm a
stuff. Like it's
storyteller?
very vile
Yeah.
or like vital,
Vital.
to
Sure.
history. Like we are storytellers. That's who we are, not gossipers. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Okay.
storytellers over
Okay,
here.
she's reworking our archetype here.
Or stereotype.
I could buy it.
Yeah.
But I see, like, that is where women will kind of come in with the emotions, and men are here with the but like
it's like manipulating the information and like spreading it. I think like women can do shit like that.
just watch Real Housewives, I'm telling you. It's game over.
Any
They're all like, well,
reality
I
TV.
heard
Yeah.
that you've been saying, and it's like, ugh, I should just keep my mouth shut. So
That is like the worst example of female friendship is Real Housewives.
don't watch the Real Housewives if you're looking for friendship advice. I feel like that is maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's the only difference. Like
the way
the ability to share emotions, and women not really wanting to physically fight each other. I mean, obviously women physically fight each other, but that's usually out of an emotional
state
reason, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
fucked my boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
Men, they just be fighting all the time for fun, and then when they share emotions, it's like probably really sad. Like it's probably like a genuine, like it's not just like, I feel like with women, or at least our healthy friendships that are around us, we're very much like in the moment, but not everyone's not like, damn, like bro, that's sad.
Yeah.
Like we just like, it's helpful. It's like a
Yeah.
conversation, hopefully some of the times. But like with men, I feel like they just don't know what to say to each other, which sucks. Like that sucks to not be able to like, one, help your friend out, and two, be helped out by your friends.
Yeah.
It's like, what do we do? Like they
How
have
do we do
no
this information?
Yeah, they have like no kind of guidance on that because there's no good examples of it really for men.
I will say that like I've seen both sides of like the type of male friendship we are talking about, and then the other side of
like
a healthy talking about real things friendship.
Same. It's just more rare.
It's more rare. And I will say, I know we're talking about like heterosexual cisgender men, but I have also seen that within like the gay men community. They can also be similar in like the sense that they have like this facade of like, I don't need to talk about anything, you know?
And that's
it's just
fair.
It's just like a male societal thing, I think, that like hurts them. It's fucking it's shitty. I guess like we kind of touched on like women in a women's friendship in a way that's like toxic, I guess. What are like, I'm trying to think of like the differences between like a toxic friendship versus like a healthy one. Yeah.
Well, I think the gossiping in like a spreading in a malicious way manner is nasty.
I definitely like have told, that was very like grown of me to do when I was younger. I stopped being like close friends with somebody because I just like couldn't handle how much like gossiping they were doing. And it's just like we had, every time I saw her, there was nothing but like gossip happening. And
you're like,
so,
what's going on with you?
Yeah, like what's happening with you? Clearly like you're distracting from something. I didn't say that, but like
looking back,
that's probably what was happening. But like I just couldn't. I'm like, that doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me like, I don't even know you at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That's one difference. You set a boundary and left.
Yeah.
I think in a toxic relationship, they keep coming back. Men or women, like they keep coming back to that friendship and expecting different results the same way you do that in a relationship.
Yeah, totally. I think like we've touched on this in a separate episode, but like weird competitiveness within like female friendships where they want to be like the best at something and like no one else can have this certain thing because it doesn't make it cool anymore, or like things like that.
Like, oh, you like wearing that type of
like
brand?
Like, yeah. I think we've all been conditioned to kind of feel that way, and it's kind of it's hard to relearn something.
That's so interesting. That just made me think about, okay, one of my ex-boyfriends was when we went on a road trip. Mel, I, and my ex-boyfriend, and I skipped a Jhené Aiko song or something, and he was like, oh, I thought you loved her, like, why are you skipping her, or like whatever. And he's like, didn't Mel introduce you to her? Like, he was trying to create competition between us about music preferences. And I was like, I mean, I don't know, maybe she did, but like, what does it matter? I was like, I'm skipping it because I don't want to listen to it right now.
Yeah,
like, why do I have to like be like, oh, Mel, do you like this song? Because like I'm playing it
because I'm playing it,
or like whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, that I don't understand that. Like,
So yeah, now I'm just like, damn, does my music taste like have to be some fucking certain type of way? Because now my ex-boyfriend's like making me fist fight emotionally for it. I'm like, what is going on? That is interesting.
But I definitely will say that I feel like I've had to unlearn that kind of like competitiveness, because I think that's really like infiltrated at a young age, where you feel like you need to be better than everyone. And it comes from insecurity that like our parents probably showed us, and like from societally, you know what I mean? But like I think now seeing a healthy friendship, female friendship or woman friendship, I think that like there's a lot of sharing of knowledge, information, resources. And I think we're all getting to a point where like understanding that there's room for everybody, and we're not feeling like limited. I feel like, does that come from like back in the day when like there wasn't maybe enough men, and like women had to like
take on men's roles?
Take on, not even that, but like they had to almost like competitively be the best so that they get picked. You know what I mean? Like literally a pick me girl.
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe this like just transformation in friendships. Not that I like feel like my friendships were totally different 5 years ago or anything, because I've had the same friends for like 15 years. But like I feel like it comes with age, like just growing up and realizing what's important. And I feel like that does happen with men as well. But it's just like it all will always come back down to the individual person and people and what work they want to do on themselves to determine what kind of friendships they're going to have. Because it really, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with gender. Like it literally doesn't. But we are aware that there are societal like boxes that we all get put into, and from things that we've witnessed, men do just do something different and women do something else. But like the more we like get older and just as society changes, I feel like nobody wants to be in a box anymore.
No.
Which is crazy. It's just like,
the thing is, I think this is like getting into a different conversation, but I think like everybody needed an identity at that point when like boxes became a thing.
Boxes felt cute.
They just like, you needed to be categorized so that like I think like everybody wanted to fit a mold because the mold was being created and that's what was like liked. And obviously that still exists. But I think that now we're finding like power in individuality. And I don't think that was maybe something that was encouraged because it made like the group feel less than or made them like out of whack kind of a thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's an interesting concept to think about, because I mean, when did all these boxes become, you know what I mean? It's just over time. Different ones were established.
I mean, they're still happening. Like,
yeah,
we're still going through beauty trends and like,
yeah, I think it's never gonna end. Which I'm like, kind of is comforting.
Societal norms are so comforting.
They're so comforting because I have something to fall back on. But like, that's why they're there, because it's literally comfortable. So like that, I don't think they'll ever go away, because so many people find comfort in being told what to do. Right. Like, I get it. I get that sometimes it's nice to not have to make a decision.
Yeah, like, autonomy. We talk about autonomy, and that shit is fucking hard. Sometimes being an individual is fucking hard. Yeah. That was a tangent.
Side topic. But yeah, basically, men... My heart goes out to you. I hope you and the homies can hug and mean it and not make it weird and not feel the need to say no homo, because there is no need to say it.
Like, you can just
like,
be affectionate.
No one cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like, if your homie cares, and what about it? And what about it? Like, you should tell him that.
If somebody cares that you're like showing affection to a friend,
you know,
they're probably uncomfortable with their own intimacy. Like, they have intimacy issues. You know
tell
what I mean?
them that. You probably have problems with intimacy.
That's a very interesting thing to say.
Do you want to talk about that?
I think you maybe have intimacy issues, is what you should say.
And if they say no homo, you should say, that's an interesting thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
And then they'll be uncomfortable, and you'll be like,
yeah, think about that. You should probably think about what you just said.
Like, I'm not going to hug you anymore because that was weird. You making that comment was the weird part.
Yeah. I weirdly feel sometimes like jealous of how a male friendship works.
Like, no drama.
No drama. It's just always so clear. Although I feel like I haven't had drama
Yeah.
in my friend group in a while. I think I've
Yeah.
taken. I think both.
I've taken from the male and made this
That's
powerful
the thing, though.
one.
I think like that's the power in like creating a healthy relationship is literally balancing
Balance.
the masculine and the feminine within like group settings, your individual self, and like partnerships and relationships. All of that is just like we have to understand we're more of the same than we are different, and like that is so helpful like for either group or together.
That was beautiful. Yeah, I agree 1000%. I feel like men just need to get over the fact that they are afraid to share their emotions, because one day they will open up, the universe will be like, I hear you. You want friends that are going to be there for you. I'm going to send them to you. And you'll find them because you deserve them. And women, we got to stop saying we hate men, because you know what? I do hate men, but
But I also want to help. I mean, I don't want to personally help them, but
it's not my job or anything.
They need help. Like,
it's fine. You know?
Yeah.
It's not, and at the end of the day, it's not, you don't actually have to stop saying it because it's funny, but
yeah,
it's a joke. But like, we just gotta be less hateful towards their relationships.
I want nothing more but for men as like a whole group to heal, because when they're healed, obviously healing process is forever and ever, but at least work on it, to be working on healing.
All men are like open to healing.
The world will be a lot more peaceful.
Agreed. That was a TikTok. What was that? Was that Teffy? Who said that?
No, that was from a snippet of Man Enough podcast.
Right.
I forgot her name. Yeah. But one of the hosts talks about, she's like this radical feminist, and she talks about how loves men. And I know that that's kind of controversial to say these days, but that like she really feels for men because they have really hard relationships with themselves and each other. And that once they heal or are healing, it fixes a lot of the issues that happen with women. And the reasons why we hate them will be a lot more, or they'll be lessened. They'll be resolved, They'll be a little more resolved. And men will just become better people and easier to date and whatever. I think like that is such another interesting thing, is I feel like more women are like slowly, I mean, my personal opinion, and like if you go back to like the gay episode that we did with Logan, we both believe that like everyone's a little bit gay, like on a spectrum. And I just feel like women are probably a little more open to like dating other women, because it's like not necessarily easier, but it's just like it's easier to be understood, I think, and to be
it's
helped and loved versus like
taboo anymore. Like it's not like I'm scared to tell people. Like it's just, you could totally say it to your friends if you want, if that's, you know, the environment you're in. So it's like hopefully a lot easier.
But anyway, that was another tangent. But
dating glowing hour. So we're gonna talk about if we think we could be friends with these fools. I think so. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We have a mint.
It smells really good.
Cucumber mint. What is it? Mojito?
Mojito?
Just like cucumber.
It's like a mojito. A mojito spritzer. Mojito spritzer. Dude, I can't talk.
I like mojito spritzer better. This is refreshing.
I like that a lot.
It's pretty good.
A good way to drink vodka.
Forgot it was vodka. Nice.
I can't even taste it, so it's good.
Love that.
So, Sam.
Yes.
We've had this conversation before with one another, but do you think you can be friends with straight men in particular? Because...
Yes. My answer is yes.
Your answer is yes, because I think, like, obviously, gay besties have been in the... circle, and in media, like, that's acceptable, you know?
What do you mean acceptable?
Like it's...
like normal.
It's normalized. Like a woman and a gay best friend. Male gay best friend. A man. But I think like straight friendships aren't really like shown much.
Well, they are, but they're rom-coms.
But they're and then they're in love.
It's never like fully platonic. But it's funny because it will be platonic even in a movie, and it'll stay platonic, and you're like, but like they should be together.
But like I think y'all need to kiss.
Right? You know what I mean? Like you just want it. You want it so bad for them, and I don't know why. It's like, why can't they just be friends and vibe but not be attracted to each other?
You know why?
Like that? Why?
Because for the same reason that we talked about how men can't be vulnerable with each other, only with women. Mm-hmm. And like when a man is vulnerable with a woman, it's usually because they're dating. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like that's already just conditioned.
So if you cross that boundary.
So if like the man's already like only vulnerable with women he dates, being vulnerable with the best friend is very like
it blurs the line.
It blurs the line, yeah. Mm. So
and her, because men are never vulnerable.
Exactly.
Okay, I hear that, but I feel like, have I ever been friends with a man and not been like a little bit like,
I think in a relationship you have been friends with like his friends, but like you would never go out on your own and have like lunch or dinner with them.
Like if like it's ever a friend that I made on my own.
That's never happened.
Well, like school friends and like classmates, but like I low key was kind of like,
like I could date any of these,
right? You know what I mean? Like I was like, but also they were never like friends. Like we never did things together. Like it was all just school stuff or related to whatever, you know, whatever we were connecting on. But yeah, I hardly had like outside friendships with men, mostly because I was in a relationship. So in that relationship, I probably would have been fucking crucified for having a male friend. But I think I could, though. I don't know where I'm gonna seek out these friends, because I feel like the only times I meet men is like out, and usually it's because like the only reason I'm talking to them is because I am attracted to one of them. Mm-hmm. So like it's already setting me up for like boyfriend and then friends of boyfriend. Even if we don't like date or whatever, it's never gonna be like, that's my bestie. You know what I mean? Because it's like, nah, that's my bestie and you're talking to him.
Yeah. So
how do you make besties? Because even like Bumble BFF, can you look for men?
Yeah, I think so.
You can,
or I think
it
like,
just gives me women.
I think it like slides in men sometimes, but I think that like I have a problem with Bumble BFF because it started as a dating app, and I understand how that works, but I think there should just be like a friendship app where it's literally only about friendships.
Okay.
And like making friends. You know, like I guess Meetup exists. I don't know if that's an app, but like it's like a place where you can like put different activities that you want to do, and then like it's a group meetup that happens, and then you make friends there.
That's fun. See, yeah, I think that's also like putting yourself out there for things like a yoga class or a dance class or pottery. Like that's also how you're gonna make friends,
right? That
aren't, you know, romantic.
I'm trying to think of like my own experience, high school and middle school. So like I think I said this in a last episode or 2 episodes ago. I had a friendship that like recently ended. So I was like thinking about that friendship, and although that friendship was really, really strong, I also think that like it always like it was always in like a trio. So like it would be me and 2 of my best guy friends, and all 3 of us were close. Like I would go out to Starbucks like dates with him and like hang out, I guess not one-on-one, like 1-on-2, I don't know, like with each other.
Yeah, you guys are friends.
And I was very close to them in that way. Then also when I was younger, like I had within like my vicinity of my house.
Pause. That friendship, it just naturally kind of ended, or were things romantic?
No.
They just 100% platonic the whole time?
They were 100%. So not on
98%.
Okay, let me just preface. Okay, and then that's my next point, that like I think they always turn into someone catches feelings, and like a lot of the time it's not even me. It's just more of like I think men have trouble being vulnerable and not catching feelings. So we all 3 met in middle school. We're friends up until late college, after college too, I guess, but then it kind of fizzled out. It fizzled out for like just we each have like different life paths now and hardly get to see each other, don't make the time for each other. When we try to, it's just difficult. But yeah, like I think like at one point he did catch feelings, one of them, and it just kind of, I think it was just like brought back to like reality, like this is just my best friend and I love her. And like we had such an emotional connection in a way that was like very friendship, but like he even wrote me like this really long letter that I still have. I'm gonna cry. Like for my 15th birthday.
That's cute.
And it was just like so
a
long.
15-year-old boy writing a
I
letter.
know, isn't that so sweet? I mean,
So
obviously,
sweet.
like, I think that he didn't talk to me for like, it's dramatic at the time. It was probably like a couple months, like not closely like we were before, because he was catching feelings and he had to like correct himself.
So healthy.
So healthy, and I love that. So then he wrote me like this long thing about how sorry he was about how he was like a shitty friend to me and blah blah blah, and I thought that was like the sweetest thing.
Look at him being
And, like,
vulnerable and healthy.
Even these two guys that were my like best friends, like at my quinceañera, they were obviously like, part of like my court and whatever. I have like them like talking about me, and the videographer like took a video of them talking about me.
Yeah,
it's just like
cute.
the friendship was so sweet. So I think that it's possible. I just don't know if like, I think it's just difficult if that isn't in a trio, because like even I'm thinking about like when I was younger in elementary school, I also had like 2 guy best friends. Mm-hmm. We always hung out all 3 together though. I never hung out with them like one-on-one, you know?
Okay, I hear you on that.
And even then I feel like one of them probably caught feelings, and it was just like a little too much kind of a thing. So it's like it's hard for me to believe that like a one-on-one male to female
friendship exists.
Woman to man friendship exists. I think I think it can happen, but maybe there has to be like that correction standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I've never experienced it. I'm usually like friends with like a group of friends. Like they're a group of friends, and then I'm friend with a group of friends. Like all of them. Never like I'm friends with just one, and then like the one that I was like most friendly with, it was like not platonic 100%. So it's very, very tricky. You're right. But I did hear a podcast. I think it was a podcast, and they were talking about like it was a couple. They're both married, or one was engaged and one was married, and this couple had been friends with a man for however long, like 5 years, but it's the wife's coworker. So they're closer because, you know, they see each other more often. Yeah. And so they're best friends. She told her husband, like, hey, I'm going to grab drinks with him and get dinner with him. And then her friend was like, oh, my fiance isn't cool with it. And she's like, we've literally been friends for how long? She's met us. Like, yeah, like my husband is friends with you. Like, it's not like we're just besties type of thing. So it obviously exists. I do think there's, like, obviously different levels of friendship when it comes to like when you're in a relationship versus when you're not. Yeah. For both sides of the friendship. I think Tinks did talk about it as well. Tinks on her podcast talked about like she has a best guy friend, and when they have boyfriends or girlfriends, they like distance each other. And she's like, and it's really sad. Like I do get really sad about like missing that friendship, but it's just respectful, which I'm like,
but that's so interesting. Yeah. Why do we feel that way?
Why? And I agree with her, too. I'm like, yeah, there is a respect level. Like, you can't just be fucking constantly hanging out with your bestie. I mean, even if it is the same gender or whatever. Like, you obviously just don't spend the same amount of time with your bestie as you do when you're single and when you're in a relationship.
I mean, yeah, that makes 100% sense.
Right.
But I think,
but like, losing the friendship part of it.
Yeah, I think on one end, I can, like, sympathize with like, or empathize with like the feeling of like it sucks that you have to lose your friend, but then maybe that's just like when I did date men, the toxicity of me thinking like, well, you hanging out with another girl can get sketchy. Yeah, but like why do we think that?
Because 9 times out of 10 they be doing shit.
Exactly.
Like, it's because it's in fact.
But, like, that's what I'm saying. Is it fucking possible? Or do you think, like, just, like, spending that much time with one another, like, if you're not gay?
I'm like, anyone want to do an experiment with me? And become my platonic bestie? And then if we catch feelings...
But see, you're already saying if we catch feelings. Like,
I know. I can't just start it that way.
It can't just be already, like... I'm not going to catch feelings for a friend. Like, this is genuinely just my friend.
I want that. I want it.
It's very complex in my head because, like, I can see, like, how if I mean, not now, but, like, if I, at the time, had a girlfriend and I was, like, openly gay. If I had a friend that, like, I really liked, who was a woman, and I caught feelings, that's kind of weird. But, like... I don't know. It's just like the nuance.
Like,
the nuances,
like the friendship gets weird.
Like I'm putting the same thing in like practice of like in like
because you never really had to do that.
No.
Do you think? I wonder if Logan has any words to say on that. Like if she
Maybe.
feels like it's similar.
I'm
Dynamic.
sure it is. You know.
Wow.
I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah. What? It's just like.
I don't know. I don't know if
just
it's possible.
attraction. Is if there's a inkling of attraction, which like, I think I could though. I think I could. I really do.
I think maybe you could, but like,
why me?
On the I'm saying, but like on the
like
other
them.
hand, they probably maybe can't. I can't see it. I feel like I've had too many experiences where like, and even in friend groups, like with women and men, like at one point a man's gonna say like, you know, she kind of is hot. Like I've had friends tell me like, oh, I think Jen is really like attractive, and I'm like, we're all friends. Why are you saying that? You know what I mean?
Why are you ruining it?
You're ruining it.
Well, I feel like you can acknowledge attractiveness.
No, but it's like I think I like her.
Okay.
Type of
that's
situation.
too far. But I think let's just imaginary guy best friend for me. Let's name him Nick. I don't know why. Oh, that's what I was saying. New girl. Oh, but that was complicated. That was messy.
I'm telling you, it was messy.
Well, I was gonna say, let's say I have this imaginary guy best friend Nick or whatever. I don't know. Like, let's say we can both say like they're attractive. You know what I mean? But like I have no interest in dating them.
Yeah.
Because like you can still be intimately connected and still see like, whoa.
Absolutely.
We cannot be compatible.
100%.
You know what I mean? So maybe it's like a compatibility thing. Like if y'all are compatible and are attracted to each other,
sometimes,
that's a problem.
But I sometimes think that compatibility, like,
people
is like, yeah, it's fucking, you fucking throw it back and you're like, I don't care because I like them.
Well, I see.
You know?
I feel like I would be less likely to because they're my friend.
It's just,
you'd put more thought into it.
Okay, listen, here's my thought though. Mm-hmm. I think even friendship-wise, there's a compatibility aspect to it.
Okay.
And so, like, I would think, like, somebody who you're not compatible with, who's a man, would have to be a completely, like, type of different person that, like, you don't align with. And if that happens,
how's he your friend?
how's he your friend? How do you enjoy spending time with him? You know what I'm saying?
You're making
It's points. A little bit complicated. I hope that this is real. Like, if you have a friendship with a man who's never been complicated, or even like vice versa, if you're a man who has had a friendship with a woman and it's not complicated at all,
give me hope.
Let me know how that exists. Like how'd you find them? Really want to know. How did
it come to fruition? Are y'all compatible as just friends? So many questions.
Love
to have you on the podcast. You're an anomaly. We need you.
Literally.
Yeah, I think we'll never come to like the conclusion of that until we test it ourselves, and it could always go wrong and it could always end up going right. We never know. But that's on that.
Yeah.
Do you think you could be friends?
Yes, but my situation's very different. I'm in a committed relationship with a woman.
But do you think, back to the compatibility thing,
I would not ruin my relationship though.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. But like,
I don't think I would develop feelings
I'm
for
just
a man
like, what?
Right now. Or anytime now.
Or anytime in the future. It's just like, how do we pick friends in general? Maybe this is like some homework we got to do. Like, how do we pick friends in general, compatibility wise, you know? Mm-hmm. And then what's the difference with the opposite gender?
Like, what do you want in a friendship with a man?
You said, tell me. I don't know.
I don't know yet. I don't know. I would have to think on that one.
Perspective. That's what I want. I want perspective.
Why do you want perspective?
I want the male perspective in my life. In a platonic way. Which I could get out of a boyfriend, but...
For what?
For why?
For why?
I mean, it'd be cool just to, like, shoot the shit with a guy every once in a while. I mean, like, okay, my brother is a platonic friendship I have with a male.
But that's a sibling.
But he's obviously...
He's familial.
Like, related to me. And I like the relationship I have with my brother. He's honest, brutally honest. He is helpful because he gives me the male perspective of, like, whatever situation I'm thinking about, talking about. It could be simple as sports, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just into it.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
That brings up a different conversation in my head of like,
Okay.
yes, I've been friends with my brothers. It's like you can, or like even cousins. I think like I had a lot of cousins that I grew up like a best friend with. That's all familial. There was already a boundary set within my brain that was like, that's not going to happen, because obviously not.
Obviously that's not going to happen.
I wonder like, why doesn't that naturally happen for like women
who are seeking out
who are seeking out like a friend,
always, I guess.
It's just, wow, so many complexities I can't think about right now.
Yeah, like we're just always looking for the one because that's what society said. So we said, I mean, he's my bestie, maybe he is the one. And then the rom-coms get in there and they're like,
yeah, it's some brainwashing for sure. So I don't know. Maybe we're going to find a bestie soon.
I'm going to get on Bumble BFF.
If you, no. I was about to say, if you're a man and you want to be my bestie, but like you probably have bad intentions. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you said I already don't trust you.
We're already here.
I already don't trust you.
I already got trust issues.
Oh my god. Well,
listen, like we said, 9 out of 10 times
they do be doing shit.
doing things.
And I'd like to be on the end of the not doing shit girl. You know what I mean? I'd like to be the statistic that stands out on the opposite end, the 1 out of 10 girly that is just a bestie.
Yeah, I want to be an anomaly,
but also
for
like
sure.
Annoying. Like every time your bestie gets a girlfriend, it's like you're like at bat.
That's why you gotta become best friends with her too.
Yeah. Have you seen those TikToks of that girl who's like the best friend of like exactly the situation we're describing, and she goes up to the girlfriend all the time and will just be like, "Oh my god, Jason, do you remember when we did that? That was so funny when we did that. Oh my god. Oh, you weren't there, right? So," and then she like explains it. She just does shit like that, and I'm like, I would literally punch her. I'd be like, "Oh really? Do you want to just date Jason then?"
But why do you feel that way? Why are you threatened?
Because why is she acting like,
okay, but
specifically
why
outside of that?
Yeah,
no.
I'm like, that's catty. But if she really just was like, "Hey, dude, remember when we went and like blah, 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 like that was so fucking fun," but not saying like you weren't fucking there, like that doesn't matter. But like saying that, do you feel like you would still feel threatened?
Probably
like,
a little,
they have
like
all
a
these
healthy
memories.
amount, but I wouldn't be like.
But why do we feel threatened? Like, why is that a thing? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like I even feel threatened to a degree on like a boyfriend's platonic friendships with his guy friends. Like, not like, don't be friends with them, but like, y'all really,
okay, so
y'all really know that much about each other?
It just come back to the root issue of let your partners and each other be fucking individuals.
And then it comes back to 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10.
He's doing something with that girl bestie.
That girl, man. They at least had some feelings at some point.
You say, y'all know each other a while, huh? Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, no. But then I think about, like, that friend I was just talking about. Like,
he had to take some space.
I think about, like, I can understand why she's threatened. Because my best friend's, like, the shit. But, like,
sorry, she's the
it's really platonic. Like, why can't you just let it be?
Because it wasn't at one point. But it was also a long time ago.
Also
I'm totally on side. I don't know why I'm fighting for this bitch right now. Yeah, I think there's just so many complexities, and at the end of the day, this is not an advice episode if your boyfriend has a bestie, but like, that's the conversation you need to have.
I really hope that like these kinds of friendships are possible.
I hope I have a male friend that does not come out of a romantic relationship, like a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'd like for that to happen in my lifetime. I would love a good bud. You just shoot the shit with. You know what I mean? That sounds great.
Shoot the shit with
You want to play video games tonight? Sure. I mean, we do that too. But like, you know.
Yeah.
Teach me how to fucking throw a football.
I don't even care for a man to like do anything
manly
or like different to teach me something like from the other perspective. Like it's more of like, why can't a friendship,
you just want to prove something?
Not even that. It's just like, why can't we just have like a normal like friendship, like, why is it so genderless hard? Friendship? Like why can't we just have like a friendship?
Well, we just explained
9 times out of 10. Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna end that today.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Spotify or Apple, download episodes, leave a rating, just help us out any way you can, and follow us on Instagram.
Yep,
that's where all the updates are. So see you guys next week.
See ya.